Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Fats, aka Cam Jennings, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. I hope you are doing amazing out there on this fine Thursday evening. And I got some weird content for you tonight, honestly. You know, it's going to be a strange one. Let me just start it with a question, right? Have you ever been creatively stuck? Like, have you ever just been like stuck, man, when it comes to creating content for your niche or creating a product for your niche, for doing anything related to what you were trying to do online with your business? Have you ever just been creatively stuck? Like you didn't know what to do, right? Because if that's you, then stay tuned because this video is for you and I think you're going to get a lot of value out of it. This is a funny kind of video because it's not a video I would normally make because it doesn't fit with my program really. My typical audience is newbies trying to get started and make money on the internet. And I wouldn't have made this video before because I would have felt like, you know what, it doesn't really cater to newbies. It probably caters to people who are a little bit farther along than just newbies. But part of this process that I went through of growing like creatively exhausted and not knowing where I was at or what I was doing, kind of formed some new rules for me getting through it. Getting through to the other side of that kind of came with some new rules for me. And one of them was that I don't just want to make strategic content for newbies. Like I want to make good content that I feel like will help the marketplace, and I want to base that content on my experience, right? And you know what? Some of this content I put out might be too advanced for new people. You might feel like this content doesn't cater to you at all, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But my reasoning behind it is, if it's something that I've experienced after working online for years now, then it's probably something that some other people will get value from as well. And I'm not going to worry about the newbies all the time. I want to create some content just based off of my experience and what I've gone through and what has helped me to keep my business floating, so to speak. So that's the kind of content I want to make. But today I want to talk to you guys about creativity, and I want to talk to you about content, because content is the lifeblood of the internet. Like whether you're creating it or whether you're buying it, like that's pretty much what makes all of our businesses go. Content that pulls people around us, gets them interested in what we have to say and what we have to sell. That's pretty much how it works. Everywhere from Walmart to Amazon to your blog, to my blog, to Facebook, to YouTube, to everywhere, content makes the world go round, right? Paid content, free content, content, right? It makes the world go round. Rob Mag says, don't use PayPal. Content. But have you ever been creatively stuck and you didn't know what to create for content? And I don't just mean and I talked about this. I talked about this a little bit last night with you guys, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it tonight, a lot deeper into it tonight. I really just want to kind of get it off my chest in a way that hopefully will help other people. So a couple of months ago, I launched a product, and I was getting ready for the launch, and I was kind of just going through the motions. I put together a product that I knew would help a certain demographic of new people, and mid-level people. And I was just going through it, man. I was just going through it, through the things that I'd done what felt like 100 times before. And then we launched the product, and I had predicted pretty much what the product would do. And, during the product launch, the product did about what I thought it was going to do. It did pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to do. There were really no surprises. Everything went according to plan. You know, when conversions dipped, I focused on this. When traffic dipped, I focused on this. And it was basically pretty much by the book. Hey man, what's up? Anyways, it was by the book, and it was fine, and it made a predicted amount of money. And I guess that's good in a way, because I'm in the publishing business, and when you're in the digital publishing business, it's nice to know you can kind of predict things. But that wasn't what bothered me. What bothered me was after I closed the chapter on that launch, I noted that I really didn't feel anything. Like the whole thing was just kind of by the book, by the numbers. I really didn't get any feeling about any of it. It was just completely just putting something else out there and moving. And yes, that thing catered to the market. But did I feel anything for that thing? Did I feel any kind of sense of joy from putting that out there to help people? And the answer was no. I didn't feel anything from it at all. And that was a weird, feeling. Maybe a few weeks before that, I did a couple of product reviews on products that I didn't really care for. And I took some flack in the marketplace. I had some people that were kind of mad at me for, dealing with those products in the way that I did. And that was another thing that kind of put me in this place where I felt like, I'm in this place. I can't move. I cannot move. I can't talk about things that I want to talk about the way that I want to talk about them, because that's going to burn this bridge and that's going to burn this bridge and everyone's going to be mad. And, it's just a big nightmare, and it's no fun whatsoever, So, my response to that is to always push back. And like, I always feel like, I'm just going to talk about whatever I want to talk about and just roll, right? But between like feeling like I was in this place where I can't do the things I want to do, I can't say the things I want to say and do the things I want to do because this is going to make this person mad and this is going to make this person mad, and then putting out content that like I don't really have a heart in anymore, the whole thing, it just kind of made me feel creatively exhausted, is what I thought in my mind. That was the best way I could put it. And when I got done with that launch, I remember talking to my wife, and she asked me, she said, well, what do you think you'll do now that you've done this launch? You're wrapping this one up. What are your plans? Because we always talk about things like this, and I always tell her what direction I'm going to go next and what I think I'll be doing next. And, guys, I got to tell you, I mean, I'm kind of like some kind of chess master, like I plan months in advance. Like I have moves and moves in advance. But I told her at the end of that launch, I said, I don't know. I feel creatively, I don't know what the word is. And finally I said, well, I just feel creatively exhausted. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do next. And now look, guys, what you got to understand is when I say that, maybe that's not the right term, because the truth is, and I said this in the live stream last night, I'm a good talker. Like I can talk about anything for a long time. Like I can you pick one subject and I can talk about it for hours, and I can do that. I really can. I'm pretty good at it. But it's like, do I want to talk about that? Does talking about that endlessly, give value to my marketplace? Am I really providing value to the new people and to the mid-level people by talking about the stuff that I don't care about anymore, because I've talked about it 1,000 times and everyone else has talked about it 1,000 times. But, Google, it looks like those are good keywords and they'll get a lot of views if I talk about this subject. It looks like that's the subject that's hot right now. And so I guess that's better be what I talk about, Like, I don't want to fake it. I've never been a fan of faking it. So I don't feel like talking about things I don't care about, So could I just research the market and, hedge my bets and pick subjects that, give me a better chance of success? Yes. Do I have 2 cents to add to that? Yes. Is it something that, is it something I feel like dealing with? No, not always. Not always. I don't always feel like talking about what other people are talking about and stuff like that. And, you know, so I was creatively exhausted because I didn't want to go in the directions that I could go. Do I want to look? I got like a bunch of products on the market right now, like legitimately, they all have frameworks. So could I make sequels to all of them? Oh, well, here's free funnels. That product did over $10,000. Maybe I can do a free funnels too. That's an easy win, right? Free funnels part 2, easy win. You know, could I add another 2 cents on that? Could I go into that product framework and find all new free stuff and do the whole thing over again with all new free stuff? Yeah, I could do that. But like in my mind, it's like, does that add value to the marketplace, or is that just me cherry picking an easy win? And that's kind of the place I was at, like where I just felt like that, you know, and I didn't have the answers. So I told her I was creatively exhausted. The same thing I'm telling you guys now. And I said, but I'll figure it out, you know, and she wasn't worried because, you know, I always end up figuring things out. So I did what many people do, you know, when they don't have the answer to a problem. I took walks. I played video games. I started a new YouTube channel about conspiracy theories. Did a lot of things. I tried to get some critical distance from the problem of feeling creatively exhausted. But the question is, what do you do when you need to create content for your business and your niche, and like you don't have a heart for that content anymore? It's like you still love publishing and digital publishing and internet marketing, but you don't have a heart for the content you're seeing out there, and you're not really interested in it, and it doesn't make sense to you anymore. It's like this has all been said before. Now you're puking up the same thing that guy said 6 months ago, and you guys are all doing the same thing. It's like, I don't want to do that. Why don't I just look up this video from 6 months ago, and it's like the same thing that you're saying now. It's just like you're putting your own like thing on it, and that's fine. There's nothing against anyone who does that. But I just felt like a little bit like it was a hamster on a wheel, and I didn't want to do it. So I started trying to figure this problem out of being creatively exhausted, or what I thought was creative exhaustion. And what I found was something called a depleted brain. And I thought it was interesting. And now we're moving into something that I hope can provide you a little bit of value now that we've talked about my little problem. And maybe it's a problem that some of you guys have had. And listen, if you have had that problem, now some of you guys are seeing this live stream, and some of you might see it on a replay. So whether you see this on live stream or you see it on replay, if you can relate to what I'm saying, man, give me a thumbs up, or give me a 1 in the description or in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling if you relate. Let me know if you relate. Some of you might not relate, and that's totally cool. No big deal. This isn't a problem that everyone's had. But anyways, I started trying to figure out, you know, what I could do to solve this problem of being creatively just exhausted and fed up with everything that I'm seeing. Not fed up in the sense of I'm mad about it, but just fed up in the sense of it's all old hat. I've seen this all before. It's all just run of the mill. It's like a giant merry-go-round or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just over it, you know? And I wanted to provide value to the market, a merry-go-round. Like I want to give you honest value in the hopes that you can take it and run with it and do great things in your business, right? That's what I would like to see everybody do. And that's what I want to do. So yeah, man. Anyways, so what I figured out was what I was calling creative exhaustion. There was a term for it, and it's called depleted brain. So with depleted brain, you can actually be engaged in your thing. You can be engaged in your thing, but your brain is depleted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be really interested still, like I was, in marketing, and you could still love the idea of marketing, but your brain is just depleted. And I want to give you guys some verses here. I want to give you some kind of compare and contrast, right? So here we go. This is focused brain and depleted brain. Okay, and this is kind of what it looks like. So if you're experiencing some of this stuff, you'll know. All right. So with a focused brain, you'll be attentive. You can be attentive with a focused brain, but with a depleted brain, you'll be distracted. You know, when I first got into marketing, I was very attentive. I was attentive with my customers, with my support. I was attentive with the products that I was creating, the membership programs that I was doing, my YouTube channel. I made sure I put a video out every single week. I was very attentive. Everything was flowing great. As my brain depleted, I found that I was quite distracted. Let me be honest, it took years for me to get to this place. But eventually I did get to this place where my brain was very distracted and like I couldn't hold attention to anything, you know, and I was over everything. I guess you could say I was just over everything. Nothing could hold my damn attention. Seriously. I was just over all of it. I'd seen it all before. It was all old hat. And I just couldn't find any satisfaction within the space. A focused brain is emotionally regulated. A depleted brain reacts impulsively. Man, I remember when I first got into this space, it was so easy to blow off negative comments. It was so easy to ignore it. And it was so easy to say things like, hey man, that's no problem. I totally respect your opinion. That's cool. You know, no big deal. But as my brain got more and more depleted, you know, I found it harder and harder to do that. And I burned more and more bridges. And I just like, you know, I reacted impulsively. Someone said something I didn't like and I'd go at them, man. I'd be in a Facebook fight. A Facebook fight, man. How stupid is that? You're on Facebook. You're surrounded by not only your peers, but your customers as well. And you're getting into these dumb little arguments on Facebook. It makes no sense whatsoever. But that's a sign of a depleted brain, you know. Now listen, guys, I'm going to go through some of these. And I'm going to tell you what I did that helped me out a lot. I'm not saying I have all the answers or anything like that. But I'm going to give you what I did that has helped me a lot. And, you just kind of got a feeling when you feel like you're healing yourself a little bit and you're getting better. And I'm going to tell you what I did that has helped me get to that place in the hopes that maybe it could help some of you guys. So, and maybe I'm way off base and maybe this content doesn't make sense for any of you guys. Maybe you're not at the same place I'm at. Maybe it's not something you have to worry about. Maybe it's something you could refer to in the future and get some value out of it. I don't know. But my new rule is I want to put out content that has helped me and that I can help other people. I'm not going to go for just trying to guess what the newbie marketplace wants. I'm going to just put out content that is helpful to me and maybe it'll be helpful to other people, and just providing true, honest value that I know works that can help people, whether you're ready for it or not. So the focused, and I'll tell you, every one of these guys I experienced. The focused brain notices connections. The depleted brain loses the thread. And when I say lose the thread, I mean lose the point, right? Loses the point. You could be doing a video like what I'm doing now and just lose the point. You just go off on a wild tangent and, you drop the whole point of the video, or yeah, that's basically what it is. Loses the thread of what is actually happening right now, what is actually important. Now, the fact of the matter is, guys, in this video, I'm talking about myself, but do not doubt that at the heart of this video is content that's designed to help you, right? Because in marketing, the bottom line is it's always about our customers, our potential customers, our audience. It's always about the people that we're pulling around us. It's never about us. That's kind of the magic of marketing, and I think that's one of the things that attracts me to marketing, is that it really is, at the end of the day, it can be about actually providing value to other people and helping other people. And yes, money is being made and livings are being made and people are in business. However, it's a great vehicle for us to be able to influence other people in a positive way. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about marketing. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, when I first got started, I did notice all the connections, and I got it, and I was firing on all cylinders. And as I went along, yeah, especially here in the end of 2018, going into 2019, just kind of losing the thread, man, losing the point. Just doing videos, just to be doing videos because it was time to do the video, and just kind of like, what am I even doing a video about? You know, just putting it out there because I'm supposed to put it out there because it's time to make the donuts. You know what I'm saying? Like that old commercial, time to make the donuts, man. And it's just, it doesn't matter. And when you're doing stuff like that, you just kind of lose the point. You know, you lose the point. Right in the video, you could lose the point. Right in the content itself. I mean, I put out content. I'd write 1,000 words of content that would start on one subject, and then by the end of the thing, I'm ranting on something completely different that totally breaks format totally on the original content. It's like, what just happened here? Crazy. That content like that doesn't really provide value to anybody. It just becomes like a self-centric rant. And that's not cool, man. So yeah, definitely depleted brain, losing the thread of what's happening right now. Anyways, so this one, focused brain can predict outcomes. Depleted brain can't see implications. I have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people in it, which, you know, some of you might think, well, that's not that big of a Facebook group. And some of you might think, wow, that's a pretty big Facebook group. But the truth is, I have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people in it. Most of them are buyers. Pretty much all of them have bought my products. That's why they're in my Facebook group. So it's over 1,000 people of buyers. It's basically like another buyer's list. And I, you know, a few weeks ago, like I was kind of like thinking, I can't really get my engagement up in this group very well. I'm not getting a lot of engagement in this group. And I was thinking like, maybe I might just delete this Facebook group. I don't even think Facebook groups are where it's at anymore, man. I'm tired of Facebook groups. Nothing ever happens in Facebook groups. They're annoying, man. I'm just going to I don't need this Facebook group in my business. I'm going to get rid of this Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what? Why would you get rid of a Facebook group with 1,000 buyers in it? But that's a depleted brain. You know what I mean? Can't see the implications. You know, the fact of the matter is, it's not really that hard to put some engagement in a Facebook group. You know, I just had to put a little bit of work into engaging with them again. Something I haven't really done for a while. But that's a depleted brain. Can't see the implications. Thinking that you can just delete 1,000-person Facebook group with a bunch of buyers in it and it's not even a big deal. Who cares, right? That's not really seeing clearly. You know what I mean? Not really seeing clearly. Depleted brain. All right, and then one more for you here, and then we'll move on to the next part of this. A focused brain makes smart decisions. And a depleted brain makes unwise decisions. A depleted brain makes unwise decisions. And I probably about a month ago, I was looking at trying to, what was my next product going to be and stuff like that. And I didn't want to do a sequel kind of thing. And I didn't want to do what I'd already done. I didn't want to do like a PLR product where I just create content and sell PLR rights on it. And I was trying to figure out, man, I wanted to do some kind of a system. I wanted to do like a system. And I wanted to kind of come up with a system to put out there for people. But I didn't feel like partnering with anybody and, splitting the revenue. And, I didn't feel like doing any of that crap. So so it was like I was in this weird place. And, I started a new product like 3 different times. 3 different times I was going to do something on, I don't want to say what they were because we're in such a competitive space that like, I might come back to those ideas and I don't want anybody else to take them and run with them. But yeah, 3 different times I started something and it just was I like backed out of it. I got like one chapter in, not like literally a chapter because they weren't books, but I mean like as far as like the workload, I was one chapter into the workload, and then like I just turned around and backed out of it and went down another path. But just unwise decisions, and then just try to go read a book about stock dividends, and I'm just kind of like lost. Now, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever just felt lost? Like, man, I'm lost, man. Just lost. I don't know what I'm doing and where I want to go and what I want to do. Here I got the successful business, and I'm sitting here at this crossroads, and I don't know which way to go. Like I'm at a crossroads in the middle of the desert or something, and I'm just looking down and like, I don't want to go down any of these roads. It doesn't make any sense. So that's where I was, and it was crazy. So let's move into the part where you actually get some help. All right. So what happened? What did I do to get off this crossroads? Well, it's a funny thing. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I had to ask myself this question. It came back to this one simple question. All right. And I figured out this one question that made a big difference for me. And this was the question I asked myself. Okay. What matters most to me? Right? What matters most to me? Because at the end of the day, the only people who get to do this entrepreneurial thing full time for a living, like what I do, is the people who have ambition for it, the people who have a heart for it, and the people who care, right? Because if you're here and you don't care, then you don't last very long, right? So I had to ask myself, what matters to me, And what I figured out was this is what mattered to me, right? Growth on my terms. Growth of my business on my terms. Because when I say what matters to me, I'm not talking about family. I'm not talking about personal stuff. I mean, when you're out there, you need to ask yourself, what matters to me in regards to this business that I'm trying to run? What matters to me in regards to this online business that I'm trying to run? What matters to me? What is important to me with this business, right? And for me, it was growth on my terms. Like if I want to do a negative product review, then I'm going to do a negative product review. Now I'll be damned if you don't like it. That's too bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your luck. It is what it is. If I don't put out a product for 6 months because I got nothing new to say, then I don't put out a product for 6 months because I got nothing new to say. If I only want to cater to my membership program because, they pay me every month to give them new content, then I'll just cater to them guys. And you know what? If I don't want to create new content for them, then I'll just close the damn thing down and I'll refund them all their money. You know what I'm saying? I want growth on my terms. And that's the bottom line. The growth needs to be on my terms. So when I ask myself what matters to me, and I answer, I want growth on my terms, my own terms, I came up with these 3 answers. Now, if you're stuck in a place like I was stuck, and it sucks. It sucks. I'm sorry if you're there because I know it sucks. But I suggest asking yourself that question, what matters to me? And I suggest being very honest with yourself about it because that's the only way you get out of that spot. But for me, I wanted growth on my own terms, but I didn't know how to get it. And I'm going to tell you what I ended up coming up with. But I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm going to say that for a second because I didn't come up with these 3 things. Just, I asked myself, what does growth mean? What matters to me? Growth on my own terms. And then well, what is that growth? What's the growth on my own terms? That sounds great, but what is it? What's the growth? Because I got hands in a few different pies here going on. Where is the growth supposed to happen? What am I supposed to focus on? I didn't know. I was creatively exhausted, depleted brain. So where should I focus? I've lost heart and everything. So where is the growth supposed to come from? So what I had to do, and maybe what will help you, I don't know, but I had to step away completely from being a teacher. Like I'm used to being in this role of teaching other people how to do things, right? Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do that. Like, I had to get out of that role, and I had to just become a student again. And what I ended up doing was, when I first got into this business, I stumbled across a Frank Kern video. It was called Core Influence. How to get anybody to do almost anything or something like that. And that was my first introduction into the world of Frank Kern. And that led me on to Mass Control 2.0 and all this other Frank Kern stuff. And man, I made a lot of money from following the teachings of Frank Kern. So I wanted to just be a student again and not be a teacher and not be some kind of, oh, he's a successful marketer. I didn't want to be a successful marketer. I just wanted to be a student, because I really wasn't very successful if I was a mid-level marketer and like I don't have any heart for what I do anymore. That's not very successful. That's kind of just like another guy who's unhappy with his job, right? I mean, let's be real. I mean, maybe I work for myself, but how am I different from the guy over there who works at the post office and who hates his boss? I mean, the only difference is I'm the boss. And maybe that makes me a little bit worse, because I created this damn job I'm unhappy with. So most people just go fill out an application and work for their money and make some money. At least they can say this, I didn't create this godforsaken job. You know, I just work here. Me, I actually created it. I painted myself into a corner. So, you know, I needed to figure out a way back, because I was lost, man. I was lost. So I wanted to reconnect with Kern and see what he was up to, you know. And I found that Kern had been doing this podcast. Now, listen, I'm not telling you guys to go get into Frank Kern. I'm not telling you guys to go listen to Kern's podcast or anything like that. I'm just telling you, I had to personally remove myself from the position of teacher and Mr. I figured everything out, and I had to like kind of demote myself back to the role of student and try to figure out what was going on in my head. And for me, I got some healing from going back to Frank Kern and checking out this podcast he created. And this podcast he created has all these episodes. He started it last year. And I'll tell you what I did, man. I just went to episode number 1 and I started listening to it. But I didn't just listen to it like I normally listen to podcasts, because I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to podcasts, I listen to them fairly passively. I'll have them playing while I'm skimming on Facebook and looking around on here and there and everywhere, and I'll have the podcast playing in the background. That's passive listening. But what I did with these podcasts was I did active listening. So as I was listening to episode 1, I was taking notes. I was taking notes as I was listening. Then I moved on to episode 2. And I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to listen to like every one of these damn podcasts until like I feel something again, until something makes sense to me again. I'm just going to keep on listening, and I'm going to keep on taking notes until something clicks with me again. Because right now, I don't have any of the answers. I'm lost, man. I'm at the crossroads. So that's what I did. And I made it like, I don't know, man, like 30 or 40 episodes in. 30 or 40 damn episodes in. Finally, I'm starting to feel like, you know, I'm ready to go make some content again. And so I wrote these down for you. What does it mean to have growth on my own terms? Well, it's going to be a little different for everybody. But for me, it means free to say whatever I like about products without fear of repercussions. Don't worry about who cares what anybody thinks. Because, see, I'm the kind of person, I don't care what people think. But when you start burning a bunch of bridges and you run affiliate traffic, and affiliates run in packs, and it's clicky, it's kind of clicky, you know, very quickly you can start burning your little bridge. Your big bridge burning party turns into a wildfire. Pretty soon nobody likes you and nobody wants to promote you because you said the wrong thing about the wrong thing. And you know, but I need, you know, growth on my own terms means just being free to say whatever I want about whatever I want and not worry about it. Growth for me, number 2, means launching and releasing content, whether it's paid or free, on my own terms, with a focus on high value products that have something new to say, right? And when I say high value products, I don't mean high priced products. I'm not really in the business of breaking everybody's back and making everybody go broke and run their credit card up for $5,000 to afford my courses. I've never been in that business, and I don't want to start now. But I just mean good, valuable products that help people move their businesses forward, and that I feel like are important and they have something new to say, right? Not just regurgitated crap because I need a new product this month, so let me just do a membership Don's part 8 or something, hey, this is my 4th product on membership programs. Let's throw it out there. I need a product this month. I don't think so, man. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's dumb. Like, what's the difference between that and slowly dying at a dead-end job that you hate? There's no difference. Like, you can grind it away as a manager at the CVS down the road. You know what I'm saying? You can slowly live a dying, dead, crappy life, being a, mid-level manager at the Walmart down the street. You don't have to, be an entrepreneur and publish digital content to do that. You know what I mean? It'd be far easier just to slowly die in a crappy dead-end job down the road. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it the way you want to do it. That's what I say. That's what I think. You might as well do it the way you want to do it. Be real. And then the last thing for me is I want to focus on growing my Insiders Club, because I got a really nice little Insiders Club with a nice core group of people that pay me every single month to deliver them great content. And we do group coaching sessions every single month, and just a great group of people, and they've been there forever. And I just want to focus on growing that, and that's probably going to be my biggest priority in 2019 is growing that. But I didn't get to these 3 things without, going through that whole process of trying to fix what was broken up here. I don't know, weird, right? But here's what I do know, and and some of the things I was doing in my process of rediscovery was I was watching a lot of TED Talks about our brains. I was trying, and you guys will probably laugh. I can be kind of geeky, and maybe you guys might not relate to that. I don't know. Maybe you do, but I can be kind of geeky and, trying to figure out what was wrong and why I was creatively exhausted and what's this depleted brain and all this stuff. And I was watching a lot of TED Talks. And I wrote something down that I got from a TED Talk that was talking about a depleted brain, and it really rang true to me. And I really, when it comes to my content, whether it's free content or paid content, I really want it to follow this ethos, right? And it's like, and what they said was, people rarely leave your presence neutral. They will leave your presence engaged or depleted. So that was powerful to me. And what that told me was I have an insane responsibility. Every time I do a live stream like this, every time I release a product, every time I write a post, I have an insane responsibility to my market, to my audience, to leave people feeling engaged and not depleted, because I don't want to put out content that depletes anybody. I want you guys to do awesome. I want you to win. And that being said, that's all I got to say about it, man. That is all I got to say about it. So I know this has been kind of a weird video, but I hope you've gotten value out of it. I hope it can help you. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.